What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders Awakened. Now, we are all starting to find our favorite farm spots, and I've got one of my own so far, just because it's the highest level map so far I've been able to start it at Wave 23. No other reason. Now, obviously, with a Wave 23 start, you get some fast draft farming, and hoping to run into some more bad boys that look something like that, or even better. Now, for this run, we're going to be using the EV. I've got two different EVs, one for buff beams, one for walls. Then we've got the Apprentice. We're going to throw in some gas traps, and then some auras. Taking a look through my stats here, my buff beamer, first off, we're at 5600 power, 2241 range, 2180 rate, 2293 fort. I would suggest anyone building their buff beamer to prioritize power and rate. As you see, my rate is actually a little lower, and that's just because I haven't put anything into it. Now, looking at the Waller. This one, of course, is all fort, 5942 fortify. My Apprentice is at 5200 power, and you see the rest. I'm not really sure what the minimum would have to be on your Apprentice to get this done. Of course, if you start earlier, start at Wave 1, you're going to be able to do it with considerably less stats, as you're going to be able to get everything upgraded. And then on auras, I'm at 2565 fort, 5100 power, 3581 range, 2536 rate. Now, range just has some absolutely horrific diminishing returns at this point. However, although I am well over any soft caps, I'm still getting slightly more and more, so I did prioritize range to open up some more of these aura builds where I could take advantage of the electric aura. Now, on the Huntress, it's just gas traps. It's not really going to matter. You're going to want to prioritize rate and fortify. Now, as DPS, I'm going to bring along a actual true DPS monk. I'm going to be tower boosting on this monk. However, the monk itself is full DPS. Wrong one. Let's check this one out. So we're going to use a speedy gemstone from the Ancient Dragon campaign fight, and we are sitting at 2500 vitality, 2000 skill, 3900 boost. Now, in skill and boost, you know, obviously this is a DPS hero, so I want to focus on my hero boost, and that's why I've got it all jacked up. And skill is much lower. However, both of these have really low soft caps, so at this point it's all diminishing returns. Now, I am using the 7 projectile weapon from the Ancient Dragon campaign fight in Massacre. This thing's a beast. It's just really, really good. 7 projectiles. Oh yeah, hot stuff. Let's hop on in and get this running. We're headed to the Magus quarters on a Wave 23 start. And here we go. This is a fun map, and it's an iconic map, really, from the original game. I remember spending just countless hours farming this map before I was able to step it up a little to the big boy maps, and to be honest with you, it seems like it's serving the same purpose. I do have a 1 Endless Spires clear now, but that's the next highest difficulty I've been able to take care of solo. This map, however, is definitely a good farmer, so we're going to start off with just a gas trap on each lane. Now, we are going to be completely dependent on our aura range. Now, the reason I say that is where we place everything else is going to be dependent on the aura range. So, we're going to go as close as we can to the core right in the middle, ensnare, electric, and a strength drain aura. Now, it does get a little irritating to upgrade these later, so I would say go ahead and pop at least 1, maybe 2 upgrades on the Strength Drain and Electric Aura here. Now, if we come to the back side and we look at our aura range, we want to set up right at the edge of our aura range. So I'm just going to use that little line right there on the ground kind of as a guide, and going to pop over to the Apprentice, and we're going to go 4 DSTs. We got 2 that are going to be covering the middle lane and the left-hand side lane here. And then we've got 2 more that are going to be covering the middle lane and the right-hand side. Now, this build is posted up on the build planner. It was posted by Lord, and I'll leave a link to his build down in the description. I did change one thing on his build, but it's not a big deal. It's a solid build, so hats off to you, Lord, for putting this one together. It's definitely getting the job done. Then we're going to go 3 Flame Burst Towers as well. The Flame Burst, you just want them so they're going to hit all 3 lanes. Pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy. And let's see. Now we want to get our buff beam in. So we'll get our beamer. You just got to make sure all of them are getting hit. I'm using a 5 DU buff beam. I tried cramming and tried cramming. I just can't fit this stuff on the 4. So I just went with the 5 DU buff beam. And let's just make sure everything is buffed. Yes, and yes. So we're good to go there. And then taking a look at the walls. We're going to use physical walls from the EV, the blocking field. And we're going to go with a 2 DU blocking field right here. So we're going to stretch it just as far as we can get it. For 2 DU. Don't want to go over that 2 DU limit. And then remember, the more DU you spend on your EV walls, the more health they have. So here on the sides, we're going to go 3 DU walls, and we're going to stretch it over to give a little bit of coverage versus the back lane that's going back to our DST stack. So something like that to cover both lanes, and it gives us a nice little boost in the wall health with the extra DU spent. So good stuff there. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. So make sure you start it far enough over where no kobolds are going to be able to get sneaky on you. And we want to just go with a 3 DU blocking field here as well. And then next up, we are headed over to the reflect beams. Now, the reflect beams I'm going to stack right on top of my R stack. We're going to go a 2 DU reflect beam all the way back to the corner here. We're going to do the same thing on this side. So all the way back to the corner, 2 DU. And then we're going to put a last 1 DU buff beam right here, or pardon me, reflect beam right here, which is not required. It is going to make life a little easier for you fighting the sirens. However, you don't need that one, but you're going to have 1 DU left over if not, so might as well just throw it in. Now we're going to come up and put a 1 DU triangle in reflect beams around our stacks here. Now, it's very important to make sure that your Flame Burst Tower is not peeking. If your Flame Burst Tower is peeking through your reflect, that bad boy is going to take some damage. So, make sure you adjust accordingly. No peeking there, Mr. Flame Burst Tower. Let's see if we can't get it through without any peaks here. See, that's 1 DU right there. And that one's looking a little bit better. It's so close, but it's not peaking. So we are good. And if we come over to this side looks like it's going to be a little bit more friendly. We'll pop that right there. And then depending on your aura range, my aura range, even with all that stat into it, the auras just don't go back far enough. So you will have spiders dropping behind. So just as payback to those bastard spiders that have just made our lives miserable ever since Nightmare started, we're going to throw a reflect beam right there to send those webs just right back into their face. Now, as far as upgrade priorities, we want to, first things first, our buff beam. Whoa, let's not delete our heroes. Let's get our buff beam fully upgraded. I actually should have upgraded it before I put the reflect beams down, because things do get a little difficult to click on here. We're going to upgrade that all the way up to full. Now, it never hurts to upgrade your walls, right? Your walls have got to be healthy. I'm going to throw 2 upgrades on this wall. This wall is our weakest link, so I'm going to put 3 upgrades onto it. And then we'll put 2 upgrades on this wall as well. That actually leaves me 3,900 left. Let's go ahead and hit that one more time. And you know what? Let's hit these side ones one more time. Now, we've got 2,400 left. We're going to go ahead and pump that directly into our towers back here. So 2 upgrades on each DST. And then that's going to leave us enough for 2 upgrades on each of our Flame Burst. And you got a little change. You can throw that wherever you want. I'm just going to hold it here to the next wave. Now, let's get it going. As we start the wave here, Our priorities are going to be as follows. First off, Poison Sirens. Poison Sirens are the enemy. They are enemy number 1, so any Poison Sirens have to go. In addition to that, it's about an even priority with Physical Sirens versus Goblin Copters. So I didn't have that Poison Siren dead yet, so I'm staying on it. I'm just ignoring that physical that just came through, and then Copters. So your top 3 priorities on the map are going to be Poison Sirens number 1, Physical Sirens as kind of a tie at number 2, and then the other part of that is the Copters. You can pretty much ignore Jin. Jin have such a long way to travel that the DSTs are going to pluck them off. If you lose or if you get ganged up on, most likely it's going to be in that situation where you've got either, too many Poison Sirens or too many Physical Sirens. So RNG is your enemy. The RNG can hit you hard here. No priority at all onto Electric Sirens or onto Fire Sirens. They are the least of our worries at this point. Of course, you can kill them for the loot. They do drop a nice little bit of loot. So if you get freed up and you have the opportunity, kind of like I have right now, I'm not going to pass up any free loot. Now, I'm not going to bother spending my boost or anything like that, but I'll just sit here and kind of chillax it out. The Siren can't hit you at all, so it will sit there and just throw into those reflect beams without any problem, and you can just sit here and chill. Now, Poison Sirens, I can't stress it enough. Poison immune enemies will wreck your build. There's no doubt about it, so prioritize those. On that same note, though, do not leave your stack. You want to stay here and be buffing constantly. So if it's a Poison immune Siren that stops way down there somewhere, just don't sweat it. Let it go, but realize that there's going to be a whole lot of Poison immune enemies coming up that lane. With that in mind, there's not going to be any crowd control. You need to go ahead and spray into the lane and put in some damage there. Now, this particular map, the entire struggle with it is all about the first 25 to 50% of the wave. That's when the ogres are there, that's when the sirens are there, that's when the copters are flying, and can make your life miserable. So, once you get past that, just kind of spray. Keep your stack of towers boosted here, and then just spray in and give an assist wherever you can. Now remember that that lane is your weak lane right there, and it's also the hardest for you to see what's going on. So if you are in doubt of what to do, shoot at that lane. There's just no doubt it's not going to do you dirty if you just shoot at that lane. So the spiders we can pretty much ignore. The Dark Elf Warriors we can pretty much ignore unless they just get a massive stack of them on top of you. Most of them, by the time they get to you, they're going to be really, really squishy. So if you just ignore them, they're going to die before they can kill you. Then just heal yourself up. Now, of course, you can fight them if you have the opportunity, by all means. However, stick to your priorities. Poison Sirens, Physical Sirens, and Goblin Copters. And if you stick to those priorities, you're going to get a win here. Now, as far as upgrade priorities for the remainder of the map, let's see. Let's gather up all the goods here first. We got mana for days. Upgrade priorities are 100% going to be your walls and your auras. So, get another upgrade on everything. All of your walls. Even though that one takes it all the way up, this is your weak lane, so get that wall nice and juicy. And then your auras. So let's get another upgrade on the Strength Drain. Let's go another upgrade on the Electric Aura. The remainder of this we can go ahead and just dump into our stack back here. So it really doesn't matter what you put it into whatever you want. I normally prioritize the DSTs first, but on that same note, the Flame Burst does get a nice benefit to range with some upgrades, so it never hurts there. So moving on in, first thing, we got to check out our sirens. We got a Physical Siren coming. That Physical Siren we can put some work into, so let's go ahead and smack on it just a little bit. And you know, I'm tempted just to go ahead and boost it out, just to get this siren burned really quickly. As the copters are, you know, as you see, we got little ogre footies all over the screens up top here. So the copters could end up being a problem. Like I said, I'm not going to sweat it. It's debatable, you know. Very tempted just to boost it out there, but you got to kill the copters though, because remember, the copters are flying high. They are not going to reflect those rockets. So if the copters get too overwhelming, they will kill you. As you see, that dirty guy tried to do right there. So stay focused on burning out these copters. Don't let them get too overwhelming. Man, they're getting it close though here. They're definitely cutting it close. In fact, I'm full on mana, so I'm just going to go ahead and boost it out and burn these guys down with my hero boost. From there, might as well just clean up the pack. This is a fire monk, so I'm just not going to be able to do anything to those fire ogres. What I can do, though, is just keep my boost going whenever I can. So now that the tower boost, I don't have enough mana since I used my hero boost. The second I get enough, just going to boost it out there. Let the DSTs do the cleanup work there. This electric siren is very low priority, but once again, don't want to ignore the loot. And need these DSTs to get it going. Looks like they're putting in some work. They are putting in work, and we lost what? We lost a wall. We lost something there. We're going to have to do a little rebuilding for Wave 25. I have lost a few walls on these Wave 23 starts. But I lost something else. That's 5 DU. Oh, I lost a 3 and a 2. Okay, so I lost 2 walls. The 3 DU and the 2 DU. So now that the ogres and the sirens are gone, you really don't have to worry about not having walls there, as they are the only reason you have walls to begin with. So I'm just going to DPS it out. You know, there's no need to panic and run around and try to do some crazy last resort thing. If the ogres and sirens are dead, it just doesn't matter. The thing that sucks here is I lost all of that mana I had sunk into those walls. So everything that's left for Wave 25 to be able to finish this map, I'm definitely going to have to put into those fizzy walls. I think this is a good point. Really, it's a good, not even midway. I think this is a good end of Act 1, which it is. It's the end of Act 1 bonus map. And I think this one's very fitting. So after you've got your, your Ancient Mines runs done, you've got some Labs runs done, this is going to be, a very good choice for you as a place to go next. Now, of course, you can jump and try to jump on into Act 2 or Act 3, particularly if you've got a group of friends to play with. However, this is going to be just a really, really good Act 1 giraffe farm, no doubt about it. So, you do have to wait it out here. There's plenty of mobs that have a long walk to take. We know what we've got to do. We've got to get our physical walls back down, and then spend every single drop of mana getting those upgraded. So, of course, before I do dump all that mana, I am going to want to repair the wall that did stay alive, and probably throw some repairs on those auras. So, pretty rough luck of the draw. I let the copters build up too much was the problem. I almost want to say that copters take priority 2, where priority 1 would be the poison sirens, and then priority 2 would be copters, priority 3 would be the physical sirens. But it's kind of, it's dependent. It's dependent on RNG and what you get. Let me see. I'm just going to repair that. I'm not going to full up it. And then I'm going to repair my Aura stack here. And then we've got to get some walls back, right? So we lost a 2 DU wall right here. And this is really our weakest link right here. So we want to make sure we get this bad boy upgraded as far as we can. And then a 3 DU wall here. The 3 DU wall will be a little stouter. So definitely prioritize the 2 DU walls upgrades. And what do I have left? Let's see, if we go 3 upgrades into that, we can take this all the way to full, actually, and still get both of those up. And that leaves a little bit of change. Very nice, I like it. So it's unfortunate. It sucks. I had the big choke there and lost a couple of my walls. However, I think this is a good opportunity to throw a little bit more and to say, you know, whatever back here. And I think that should get us. We got 400 left. Might as well just repair these DSTs, as they did take a little incidental damage from the Dark Elves and the Spiders. And let's get going on the next wave. So what do we have for Sirens? Let's see. We've got a Poison Siren and a Fire Siren. Now here is another exception to the rule. These Sirens are stacked on top of each other, right? And one of them's Fire, which I'm doing fire damage, making that Siren immune to all of the damage I do. So it's going to be very difficult for me to kill that Poison Siren with that Fire Siren standing in front of it. RNG is RNG, so it seems. So I instead even ignored the Poison Siren, but that is about the only situation you would want to do that. So I did get the Poison Siren on ignore, and now I've got a bunch of mobs that are immune to my crowd control. So I just want to be conscious of that. We still have a few more copters going here. Go copters. I think this is the last one. Or nope, there's one more even. The copter grind is real, no doubt. Oh, and we've got more. Yeah, the copters aren't done with us yet. And it looks like that's it for copters. So now, this lane has got what? All it's got left in it is just the one poison right there. Actually, I didn't see this girl slip in. We got us a new Poison Siren. In fact, I'm going to boost and burn her down real quick, since she's kind of the end of the Siren barrage. There we go. The second she's dead, I turn my boost back off to conserve all of that mana for my tower boost. And then that's it. We got over the hump. We got all the ogres killed. We've got the copters down. All the Sirens are either dead or gone. And all we have left now is the trash mobs. So just pick a random lane, spray it around, do your thing. I wouldn't advise leaving the protection of these reflect beams and having the ability to boost all your towers here. So definitely a huge benefit just kicking it back here. Not exactly an AFK build. If you try to go AFK here, at least at my stats, you're going to get smoked. So definitely not AFK. You do have to constantly boost, constantly buff, and constantly spray down a lane. So it's just a matter of getting the kill priorities dialed in, and from there, just beat them down. Hopefully we get a nice shiny giraffe out of this run. I've gotten the best godly giraffe I personally have seen so far, and some stuff that is just absolutely terrible. So RNG, of course, is RNG, but there is the potential to get super high-end godly giraffes from this run. Plus, you know there's going to be godly gear all over the ground. I mean, not all over the ground, but there will be godly armor pieces and weapons that drop as well. So we've got the benefit of that there too. 300 mobs left. It is just about over. Not quite there yet. Once again, when in doubt, spray down the lane you can't see. That is the way, no doubt. 100 left. Let's get that shiny. And let's check out our giraffe. Look at that. That wall was thin. Woo! What did we get? Not a bad giraffe. I mean, it's not the one I wanted, but I think that may be an upgrade for somebody. Not too shabby, that's for sure. That will do it for now, though. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to click that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And I will be back soon with more Dungeon Defenders in all its forms. Thanks again, y'all. I'll see you next time.